guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Tampa Honda, of course, in Tampa, Florida, and we have a very unique vehicle that Honda has had in their lineup for some time, but has changed over the years. This is a 2020 Honda Insight, this one being a fully optioned touring trim. But before we dive into this one, let's talk a little bit of history about the Insight. The Insight really was Honda's first foray into a production hybrid vehicle. The early ones were just two-seaters. Very, very unique design to cheat the air. Over the years, it seems that hybrids, of course, are becoming more accepted, and manufacturers are making them look more car-like rather than science experiments. I think what you're going to find, though, with this Insight is that it brings some very, very special, unique attributes that are going to separate it from, say, a hybrid Accord. But what's wonderful is that you're going to get that great Honda reliability and some maximum MPG. So let's go ahead, dive into this Honda Insight and see why is it the hybrid you should be parking in your garage. Right off the bat, you're going to notice something very familiar. It's actually sitting on the same chassis as the current generation, the 10th generation of the Honda Civic. So dimensions are going to be very, very similar. And the Insight really fits that spot in their lineup because there is no Civic hybrid. You're either going to go Insight, which is automatically a hybrid, or of course an Accord hybrid if you need a midsize. But I like what they're doing with the unique design to help separate it from the Civic trims. You have your LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps. We drop down, you're going to have full LED fog lamps. Now, there is this very slim fake vent. I'm only going to give it a half a zonk. I wish they would have made this a functional air curtain, but I am glad that they just kept it flat black. This whole design down here in this lower corner is nice flat black, but I do like the way they integrated the silver trim right into the headlight design. Now, as we come across the front end of the business here, you're going to have the chrome trim go across the whole top. And then what's really nice, the way that they did the styling, is that you see some of this blue. Don't adjust your TV sets. That's actually blue trim to signify this being a hybrid vehicle. You got your Honda H, of course, a little bit of gloss black horizontal, and then you drop down, everything down below is going to be flat black. Now, of course, this being a touring trim, this little guy right here, that's going to be all that Honda sensing technology that's going to allow you to not only save on the MPGs, but also something that could potentially save your life if that situation ever arises. But like I was saying, it looks like a vehicle. It doesn't look like a science experiment. When we get up onto the hood, nice clean body line, start on the front fascia, go very strong into the hood all the way to the windshield. You're going to have your higher peaks. I think Honda does a great hood design where you're sitting behind the wheel, no matter which model it is, you get a good reference point for what's going on from behind the wheel. Now, as we come around the bend, here's what we're working with wheel and tire setup. Now, this is actually aluminum. So on a lot of different cars, they use a steel wheel or a partial aluminum wheel, and then they put a lot of plastic. This whole design is meant to cheat the air. So it's meant to help circulate that air, but the nice news is it's all aluminum. I like this flat gray with the machined aluminum wheel section. This is a 17-inch wheel, 215 on the width, and a nice 50 series sidewall. Going to give you a comfy ride as you're going down the road, sipping on fuel. Now, as we go into the fender, of course, you're going to have your hybrid badge, that blue badge signifying that this is meant to be a long-range vehicle. One thing that's unique to Honda is that they have their lane watch technology. So you're going to get that in this particular car. What that means is when you're sitting behind the wheel, you turn on that right turn signal on your infotainment system screen, which is a nice size 8-inch screen. You're going to get what the view is on the right-hand side of the car, give you a little bit better visibility. You do have chrome trim along the top, the bottom, and some on the door handle. Nice, decent-sized sunroof. And then the lines, like I said, they're meant to cheat the wind, but they're also making it look like a Honda, like a car. Very, very low roof, comes into the nice large rear glass, and then you can see the design, how they took that rear pillar into the actual trunk to help channel that air. You get to the back, of course, you're going to have LED taillights, and then very, very simple, no exhaust sticking out or anything like that. Nice, simple, flat black, little bit of chrome trim, Very, very clean from the rear. Let's go ahead, pop the hood and see what's powering this Insight. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. Underneath that hood is gonna be that hybrid technology. So the way that Honda does it with their Insight is you're looking at a naturally aspirated 1.5 liter inline-4 engine. That's gonna be mated to 2 electric motors. You're looking at a combined 151 horsepower, 197 pound-feet of torque. It weighs around 3,078 pounds. And it uses lithium ion batteries. Now 0 to 60 with this setup is 7.7 seconds. It's all routed through an eCVT transmission. MPGs, here's where you're really gonna come out on top. 51 in the city, 45 on the highway. Underneath the hood, very, very clean, not a bunch of plastic. You could clearly see your hybrid technology with the good old-fashioned internal combustion engine. But why don't we go ahead, dive to the interior and see what the touring trim brings to the hybrid table. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Insight touring trim, getting great MPGs, getting great dual climate AC controls. How much is this? That's probably what you're asking. MSRP right at $29,000. I think when you're comparing it to the Prius, the hybrid Sonata from Hyundai, I think you're gonna be surprised. Let's go to the door panels. Now, love the soft material at the top. You have that beautiful leatherette material with the white contrast stitching, and you have some leatherette material on the armrest. In the pocket, you could probably fit a Whopper, maybe a Whopper Junior, and a nice bottle of water to wash it all down. When you get to the dash, I like the design. The way the AC vents are integrated, they brought a little bit of silver, nice soft touch material. The stitch work is great. Here is your 8-inch. So Touring gets an 8-inch infotainment system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Let me throw it in reverse real quick. You can see out back, you do have trajectory, which is really nice. And you could change the field of view there, which is another nice option to have on this particular setup. I'll put it back in the park. Obviously touchscreen. You got your AT&T hotspot, which is really nice. All your USB connectivity you can get to. A real volume knob. There's your power on button. Since this is a hybrid, you do have your dual climate control. 2 USBs and a 12 volt. My major zonk is, this is great for a Twinkie, but it's not wireless charging. I wish this was wireless charging. This is going to control your eCVT. Same push button as your 10-speed, say, Honda Accord. You do have a full EV mode, sport mode, and an extra economy mode to kind of hug a few extra trees along the way. This being a hybrid, you do have a blue key fob, remote start, nice weight to it. 2 cup holders, leather. This is really nice. I'm glad they did the leather over here. Nice armrest. You got a little train here for some Planters peanuts. And then you got enough room for a super big gulp. So if you need to drink a gallon of soda, you could do it, because guess what? You're not stopping for gas in this thing. Seats, they did a great job. I like the perforated center. I love the stitch work. You're going to have full controls on the side for them. They are heated, but they're not ventilated. And at $29,000, I don't know if I could zonk it for them not being ventilated, but the material is great. The stitch work is great. You do have a sunroof, and you have a frameless auto dimming mirror, which is an extra nice touch. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Insight. All right, guys, business time. Behind the wheel, we do have the seat controls, easy to get to, which is really nice. 8-way positionable steering wheel. No matter what Honda you're in, they do a great steering wheel. I love the thickness. Stitch work is great. Nice flat silver. You got your thumb button controls. Now you have paddles on the back of the steering wheel, but this is for your regenerative braking. You could actually increase the intensity of the regenerative braking or lessen that. And that's going to help obviously with your range and everything. You get your full Honda sensing technology. And then the dash is actually really clean for a hybrid. Some of these hybrid dashes just get totally ridiculous, but you have your analog speedometer, and then over on the left you have a nice digital display where you can get all your different readouts. You can scroll through different information, which is great. Radio controls, all that stuff, very, very easily done. And of course you have your fuel gauge all the way over to the right. Visibility is really nice. Why don't we go ahead, let's check out the back seat and see how your passengers are gonna like sitting for long periods of time in this Insight. All right, guys, back seat time. Now, I'm really digging with the interior, how it's got that dark leather and chocolate look. People are honking their horns. Yeah, Radies Rise, we're right over here. What's also nice is that for being a hybrid, you still got a ton of room back here. Now, there's no pockets on the back of the driver's seat, but the good news is I get a pocket over here. I can fill this up with all my favorite snacks. I'm telling you, you're not stopping for fuel. No rear AC though. That is a problem. No connectivity. This is a touring trim. That's going to be a major zonk. You do get an armrest. It's very, very soft, and you have 2 cup holders, but I would like some connectivity back here, especially with this being a hybrid. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the trunk space and see how much room we have in this Insight. All right, guys, time to check out the junk in the trunk. Push the button, no electric assist. You're gonna have to use your muscles. You pull it up, and the great news is you have plenty of room down there. So if you've been in a Civic before and you've seen the trunk space, you're gonna get the same wonderful trunk space back here. You pull on these levers, seats are gonna fold down, but quite impressive, especially for a hybrid with that lithium-ion battery technology. It's a little bit smaller, and you can clearly see by how much room we have. But why don't we go ahead, let's go hyper-mile this car and see how it drives. All right, guys, we're in the 2020 Honda Insight. We left Tampa Honda. I have it in sport mode, and what I've noticed, which I am gonna zonk, is that it produces an interesting sound in the cabin. I guess that's Honda's sports sound for the Insight, so I am gonna zonk that, but definitely very, very smooth driving hybrid. Also, the seats, very, very supportive and comfortable all at the same time. I like the way the instrumentation is laid out. It's easy to understand, even at a quick glance, and the fact that you can adjust the regenerative braking, how much regenerative braking you experience, is also a very, very nice touch. But let me go ahead in sport mode on throttle. So obviously getting that constant RPM drone because of the eCVT, but definitely gets up the speed on the quicker side, which is nice. Steering has a great feedback to it. Looking out the back window, lots of visibility. Side mirrors work great. You got your lane watch, which I always love on these Hondas, so you can see your blind spots on your right-hand side of the vehicle. Steering has a great feel, and because of the push-button transmission, it cleans out this whole area. You have a nice large 8-inch infotainment system screen. I just wish there was wireless charging. This pad here would be perfect for wireless charging, but yet there is none. So, one major zonk. I bet you, if you're a subscriber in Canada and you have one of these, or you know about one of these, I bet you in Canada they probably have this as wireless charging, because it seems like up in Canada, almost every model at every trim has something extra that we don't get here in the United States. So just something I've found along my travels. All right, guys, driving down the road, we have it right now in eco mode, trying to maximize our fuel economy. If you're not on full throttle, the sound of the engine actually isn't too bad, to be honest with you. It's just once you go to full throttle, you just know you're in an eCVT and not a conventional setup. Super smooth though, very quiet on the interior, and I think the part that your passengers are gonna love the most is the amount of room that they have in the back seat, especially with this being a compact size hybrid. Definitely though, the interior I like a lot more than what's in the Prius. It's more of what you're used to, so that you can feel comfortable as you're going down the road. All right, guys, turning onto this street here, we're gonna see how she does over some ripped up pavement. So I'm gonna purposely go over the ripped up pavement. Really soaks up the bumps nicely. A lot of times hybrids really ride a lot better because of where that battery placement is. But let's see how she handles on throttle, on the brakes. A bit of body roll, but still nothing too crazy. Definitely gonna out-handle a Prius any day of the century. And really just super smooth. So I am really liking how this Insight behaves compared to other hybrid vehicles that we've been in. And at this touring trim, you have all the amenities that you could really ask for, except for wireless charging. That's the one thing. All right, guys, I put it into sport mode again. Let's go ahead and go into this little twisty bit on throttle, on the brakes. Super smooth on the entry, decreasing right radius. get that deeper sound because we're in sport mode, which is a little ridiculous. But definitely you can feel a difference between the modes. Sport mode does have quicker acceleration. I just wish they wouldn't have added that sound because it's pretty horrible. So I'm gonna majorly stamp a zonk on that one. All right, guys, hopefully you got a nice overview of what the inside is all about, especially at the touring trim. We're going to wrap this one up and get back to Tampa Honda, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day here at Tampa Honda. Definitely got to thank Sam and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2020 Insight. Is this the car to get over a Prius? I think just based off the looks, which beauty is in the eye of the beholder, definitely the car to get over a Prius. The interior is so much better organized and well laid out to really give you just that regular car experience, but with maximum MPG capability. But if it's hybrids like these that you want to keep seeing on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready to Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Ready to Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee sweating with me out here in the sun. Thank you for your hard work, Tom, and just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.